Well, it does all come down to this.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Yo people, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. Hope you're doing well. Really do help that. Welcome back to the channel. We are into the end zone here, and we're looking for a touchdown, right? I am right, yeah? Yeah, man. 6th place. All we need is a draw at home to Bournemouth. But in the off chance, and it really is rather unlikely, that Tottenham somehow, not just draw, lose away at Bramall Lane, then a win for Chelsea against Bournemouth would see us go into 5th place and a guaranteed Europa League spot. Even if, in the wild circumstance that Manchester United wins the FA Cup. Of course, if they do win the FA Cup, as highly unlikely as it is, it means the European spaces are bumped down one. Which is crazy, really, isn't it? We went from the coefficient being 1 extra, so what was that? That's 8th being Conference, 7th and 6th being Europa, and 5th being Champions League. Heck, if we kept that coefficient and Man City win the FA Cup, like they almost certainly would, we could have been this close to Champions League football and glory. Pochettino spoke in his pre-match press conference a lot more jovial and happy, of course, the last pre-match presser of the season, saying some pretty positive stuff that infers that he's just going to stay. And he thinks we're trending in the right direction, and we're not far off from being very, very good. Of course, Chelsea will do business in the summer. A couple of tweaks to make us a lot better, and returning players to stay, hopefully, in the starting lineup. The likes of Nkunku, the likes of Reece James, and of course, players to be utilised like Lavia. You can't see him going on loan. I see him being utilised, especially at that expense. And a couple of signings, guys. Wesley Fofana, my boy, my favourite centre-back. Levi Colwill, highly rated, incredibly highly rated. Are we going to buy a left-back? Is Chile going to come back into the fold? This team next season can be, or could be, should be, in fact, incredibly different for the better. So we'll talk a little bit about Poch's words today, Bournemouth, and the team, the final lineup of the season, and who will feature in this game at home at Stamford Bridge. So guys, it's been a journey, as always. I've been a YouTuber for many years now. Well, not many, 4 or 5 years. It's been a pleasure to navigate this season with you again. If you enjoy the content, as always, I welcome your feedback in the comment section. Thank you for liking and subscribing. If you choose to subscribe, you should hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. All right, and transition. Alright, mate, so Poch did say a bunch of positive stuff. He says, yes, we are working out the strategy for the summer and pre-season. Some of the loanees have returned, the likes of Amari Hutchison, of course, who did incredibly well to help Ipswich get promoted. He wants to go back there for a second season on loan. Chelsea do want to look at him. Poch was in a better mood. He was joking, saying, even the people on social media like us now. Of course, he did, like I said, confirm that they're planning already for next season. So, it's his job to plan. The Athletic Chelsea reporters and correspondents would confirm to you that it's actually not a given that Pochettino is definitely going to be here for next season, that there will still be this assessment, and if certain data trends come back negatively, that and also, I think probably a more salient point is, also if an alternative, a managerial opportunity arises, someone that they think is really good, that would be perfect for Chelsea, then they'd consider a change. But as things stand, you'd put the farm, you'd bet your bottom dollar, gosh darn it, on Pochettino staying as Chelsea coach. And naturally, he did sound a bit wobbly there for a few quotes. He actually joked about how, the comments about him saying, this isn't my team, this is Chelsea's team. Of course, we reacted to those comments here on the channel and speculated what that could mean. And I did sort of preface it with, this is his second language. He kind of referenced this when posed the question by a journalist in this pre-match press conference, saying, look, yeah, my wife even pulled this up and said, what do you mean? I watch it back and I'm not sure what I mean. I think he was trying to say, look, he wants to be respectful to the clubs he worked for as an employee, as in, this is not my team, this is Chelsea's team. That's kind of what he meant. Of course, it didn't come across like that, but like I said, despite him having an okay command of the English language. For me, he should have a better command of the language, considering it's, Southampton, Tottenham for God knows how long, and now Chelsea. But he speaks well enough, and he's got, he can communicate to the players well. The players love him, so that's the most important thing, really. If he could navigate these presses a little bit better and not get himself into trouble, that would be massive. But he did say, look, it's like all the clubs I've been at. It's never my team. I work for the team. And in the same way, the way he's talking about planning for the next season, it's kind of like, it's my job to do that. No one's told me I'm fired. He hasn't said this, but as a professional would, you just carry on, It's not like, well, I want the backing. I'm not going to do anything else until I know I'm going to be here. He just carries on. But the vibes are good. I think everyone outside Chelsea at this point, unless we lose 5-0 to Bournemouth and there's a fight on the pitch, I don't know. But I think everyone from outside Chelsea now would be like, yeah, you got to keep him. That's just simply the situation. And Pochettino said stuff like he's happy how the team has evolved, but it's not enough. We need to evolve more. He wants Chelsea to win. He does want Chelsea to win. People criticise Pochettino's mentality. Is he too Spursy? But he does want to win. And that is the plan, by the way. The plan is winning, ultimately, despite what people think about the ownership and sporting directors and stuff. Of course, they want to generate money, but their plan ultimately is precedented on being a winning team, and then all the other stuff is easier to market and generate revenue. So we need to win, and of course he said that his message to the fans is, like always, it's to trust the process. Those favourite 3 words that makes everyone gag. Alright, so, positive noises from Poch. Kind of like, not quite the Wolf on Wall Street. I'm not effing leaving. Leonardo DiCaprio. Not quite that, but, very positive and jovial and feel good. Let's see if that can be navigated throughout the game and beyond on Sunday. So the injury list is a sight for sore eyes. Of course, the 3 players that we know are out, Lavia, Fofana and Fernandes, for different reasons. Mudryk, we know, cannot play for concussion protocol. Rob Sanchez is in sort of rehabby still, but it's the second goalkeeper, which just leaves Carney, who's in team training. Chile's no longer on the list. So really no one's injured. Because you say Sanchez second keeper, whatever. But, Mudryk's not injured. And then there's the free. It's like, we're there. Right, we got there. Match day, game week 38. The last game, we got there, people. Hey! Absolute pain. But, hopefully a summer of really detailed, meticulous investigation into player injuries and indeed the whole friggin' Chelsea medical department, and hopefully we don't see this again. Touch wood. Bald head. Wait, by the way, 4 out of 4 since the bald aura. 4 out of 4. If it's 5 out of 5, I don't know. I think every single viewer is going to have to pay me £5 into PayPal or something because I did this for you. I know I look good, but hey, it's not my fault. Right. Bournemouth. Iraola. Dom Solanke. Anime goal celebrations, apparently. Dom on fire. I think he needs 1. This is like, if he was on 18 goals, I'd be like, yeah, wicked. The fact how he's on 19 Premier League goals, I believe, Dom Solanke, makes me nervous. Do you know what I mean? It's like, 17, 18, wouldn't care. 21, 20 wouldn't care. 21, don't care. 90. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's on there. Let me just double check as I Premier League top scorers. Oh, come on, man. Top scorers. I'm pretty sure he is. So, of course, it's Erling Haaland who won't get caught now because he's just got loads. Second place, Cole Palmer, 22. Third place, Isak, 20. And Solanke and Watkins are both on 19. So, yes, 19 makes me nervous because who doesn't want a 20 Premier League goal season? That's an incredible season for the still relatively young English striker, Chelsea Academy graduate. And boy, oh boy, coming back to Stamford Bridge, would he like to bag that 20th goal? Bournemouth, in terms of form, let's have a look, shall we? They did not great. They lost at home last time out to Brentford, 2-1, which is not good. They did get touched up by Arsenal 3-0, but the game before that, they were played Brighton, and they beat Brighton 3-0. That is a great result. And they beat Wolves the game before that. So they're not in terrible form. They are in relatively good form. Of course, they're safe as as is. They're 11th place, joint points on 10th place with Brighton above them. If they draw or beat Chelsea, they could have a top half finish, which is something, isn't it? Because 11th to 10th doesn't make much of a difference generally, but to look back in history and say, yeah, we got a top, Iraola came in and got a top half Premier League finish. It's a headline. It's a stat. It's a cold, hard stat that they will be looking for. I'm just going to tell you the players in terms of the last time out. Of course, that home loss to Brentford. So they drew a win. Iraola is an excellent manager, of course, who's come in. They play a 4-2-3-1 formation like us. They got a few good players in there. They got people like Smith, who seems to be there forever. Cook, Cliver, good heritage in the number 10 position. I'm really impressed with Semenyo, and of course Dom Solanke up top. They got a few good players, and Tyler Adams, he's at Bournemouth. What happened to Leeds? Wow. Okay. Anyway, so they'll fancy upsetting the party. And remember, all we need to do is draw to guarantee 6th. So we need to do this. How will we line up? Well, I've built a lineup. A couple of different things. Just about. Here it is now. 4-2-3-1. You know, a lot of it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Petro, of course, in goal. Cucurella, left back, inverty boy, if he's still doing that. Gusto, natural good right back. Probably would have been Reece James had he not been banned in this game. Especially a good opportunity to start. Maybe give Gusto, 30 minutes off the bench. But because Reece is banned, hopefully Gusto's fit to start this game. Chalobah, probably our form centre-back at the moment. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, Monstro's last game at Chelsea in England in the Premier League. He's off to Fluminense afterwards. It'll be a very emotional day for him. He was sort of rested in the last game out. He is definitely going to start this game. Unless he brings him on for... I think he'll start this game, and I think he's going to get substituted late on to get a standing ovation. I mean, he doesn't have to do that. I think that'll be a nice touch from Poch. Imagine the standing ovation he gets in the 85th minute when hopefully Chelsea are 2 or 3-0 up. And I don't know, like a Badia Shield comes on for him. That would be lovely. We'll see what happens there. Which means, of course, Caicedo, who's playing out of skin at the moment, will partner Conor Gallagher. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've changed the attack. Of course, Mudryk can't play, Jackson will play, and Palmer will play. What I've done is, many people would have think we could actually just do this. Because Nkunku sort of played on the left. I think, move Palmer, Palmer back on the right. Sterling I think Sterling will get a start. You might be thinking this is harsh on Noni Madueke, who was better last time out after a poor game, the game previously, of course. I think he'll give Sterling a chance. That he's probably, he's been waiting patiently. I think we'll give him a start at Stamford Bridge in his preferred left wing position, which means Palmer, who is a right winger, number 10, will play on the right. And then I think Nkunku will get a start in the number 10 role, where he can be so deadly, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll see... God, it could be a really, really exciting attack there. I know not everyone's massively high on Sterling, and maybe Noni comes on and moves, Nkunku over, and Palmer goes to the middle. That can happen. But yeah, as usual, you'll see the centre-backs pushing up, Cucurella inverting, because this is less of a centre-back, going back to a back three. Actually, really interesting, and shout out Liam Twomey of The Athletic, who shouted this out. Cucurella inverting, and even Gusto inverting, and Gallagher and Caicedo, because Caicedo's actually played right back before for Brighton. But weirdly, seeing Gallagher go to a left back position, I did see this in the game, but I didn't really think about it until I heard Liam Twomey say, look, yeah, they were swapping and the opposition didn't know what to do about it. When your double pivot are inverting out, or the opposite of inverting, then you don't know what to do with them. But you could definitely trust Caicedo to be a fullback. He's played there, and Gallagher, generally you can trust him to do a job anywhere. So it's a really interesting thing there that they can swap with those players, and of course the front four should be fluid, and as provided they work hard and combine, that should be a big fat dub for Chelsea. What do we want? We want Palmer to absolutely fill his boots. For me, the main thing is, look, Jackson's proved he's been a good striker this season. He's done well. 14 goals, 14 non-penalty goals regardless, is a good season for Jackson. I don't care what anyone says. It is good for his debut season in this Chelsea side. If we carried on going, if there was more, months in the season, his goals, his minutes per goal is picked up as well. The main thing, look, Thiago Silva, I just want him to get a win and goodbye. He doesn't have to have a good game. What he's earned just the emotion. Chelsea can win. I just want Palmer to fill his boots. For me, that's the thing I want to happen. I want Palmer to fill his boots because he's obviously got a good chance for PFA Player of the Year. He's got a chance for young PFA. He has got a chance for PFA Player of the Year. It won't be a travesty if he doesn't win PFA, but he needs to win Young Player of the Year at PFA. He just does. He needs to win it over Foden, Saka or whatever. I know is that Premier League player Foden's in. Anyway, whatever. Point being, I want that in the bag for Palmer. He's been incredible this season. So I want him to get another goal, an assist. If he can get a couple of goals, that would be great. That's what I want. I want Palmer to fill his boots completely. And for me, obviously, a win's paramount. I mean, obviously, if we get a draw, the job's done. So, the worst comes to worst, we get a 3-3 draw. And Palmer gets a hat-trick. I'll be alright with that. I know it's Bournemouth at home, but you qualify for Europa League and Palmer gets absolutely juiced. So that's what I want. I'm going to say a bit more. I'm going to say we're going to win 3-1. That's what I reckon we're going to do. And we're going to end the season on a high. And then we can move into the summer and discuss together what's going to happen next. And if you want to be a part of that, you know what to do. Simply subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of my uploads as my earrings coming out. Thank you for liking and commenting and sharing as always. I'll be here every single day, so I hope to see you back here soon. Peace.